Hello. I'm feeling like it's time to share my testimony of my life. So it started when I talk like bad right now. I stutter a lot and I slur my speech and I have a hard time saying any words. So it's getting better since the meningitis, but still working on it. So it's hard to explain some stuff. That's why I try not to talk about my testimony yet. I wasn't ready, but I feel like God's been telling me to do it. So when I was younger, I was brought up by my uncle and aunt. My aunt, and she married a guy that is my uncle. I kind of think of them like mom and dad, but I know my real parents aren't them. So I understood why. No, I did not understand why I wasn't able to live with them. Kind of, I was told, but I kind of like doubted it. So I started like running away at 13, being curious of who my parents were, especially my mom. So I contacted family members which were in school with me in my grade, my cousins, and somehow I figured out where she lived. I forget how, but I did. And I ran away one night and I think it was during school. One time I ran away to my friend's house when I was punished, I think. So I couldn't go to her birthday party. So I just ran away from school and told her sister, she was watching her older sister, that I was allowed to go, but I was not. So I just tried to hide out there, which was really dumb. I think I was like 13. And then my uncle knew where I was. I don't know how. He found out really quick where I was. And that's as far as I got. And he picked me up from her house. So then when I was a little bit older, I ran away again. But this time, I found out where my mom was. And I messaged her and I went to her door. She did not know I was coming. I just knocked. And she opened the door, and then I said it was me, her daughter. And she had my aunts there. And I was staying there, and her sister, my aunt that was taking me in, contacted her and told her I was missing. And she was like as soon as that happened is when I knocked on the door. So I wasn't there when she asked, but now I was. So I did that. I got caught eventually. I lost a lot of memory, so I don't remember how I got caught, but I did. And I did that until I was 16. Kept running away constantly to my mom's house. So I don't know why, but I just felt like, I don't know, I just wanted to be with my mom. So like by the time I was 17, I realized I did not like boys at all. So I would like put on a show because kids would say, "Oh, you think he's cute?" I would say, "Yeah, I do." But I did not like boys. I was scared, petrified of boys until I was 17. So growing up, I was friends with a lot of boys, but I would lie to my friends and say lies about I did stuff with boys, or I kissed a boy or stuff. I did have my first kiss when I was like 13 with a boy, but I wasn't interested. It was just something I was doing to try to put a show on for people to like. I heard a lot of like gays not being accepted, so I tried to like cover it up. But I even wrote in my diary that I liked a boy that was my cousin's one of his best friends, and I did not. I just wrote it because I knew somebody would find it and read it. Oh, like I have a crush on this boy. I think I was like 13, 14, and I did not. So when I was 17 is when I lost my virginity with a boy, and I got with one other guy after that, and I was with him for 5 years, which I had 2 kids with. So by the time I was 17, I fully liked men, not girls anymore. So I was with him for about 5 years. I had 2 kids, and that relationship was crazy, really bad. Um, uh, he has like 12 kids, even more than that. I don't know, but I had 2 with him, and after 5 years, we broke up permanently. And I met I met the my youngest's father online. I think like he friend requested me on Facebook and just like randomly like, how are you? And I didn't message him back for a few days, and then he kept on saying like little random, hey, how you doing? Then I finally messaged him and then had him hang out and stuff. So since then, we've been together for 10, 11 years, and we were married for 10 years. So we had our first kid, which is a girl. So I have 5 kids. So I had my first, which is a girl. She was healthy and she's fine. She's 8 now. Then I had my son. He's a 3-year-old. He's 3. And my son Gabe, I had with him too. He's 1. So one day, me and my husband we lived together, and he was saying stuff about God because he always talked about God in the Bible, and he didn't like me watching. Like I liked horror movies, and he kind of like what are you doing? And I don't know. I was like my whole life growing up, scary movies were like the best. I really liked them, and one day he just like prayed that I would see that God was real, because I was like laughing because he was saying something about God and pray, and I was like like laughing. And his grandma was very, very into God too. So it was her, because of her, I kind of was more interested in talking about God. So one night I fell asleep, and it is the same day that he prayed about it. So I fell asleep, and I had a dream that I was laying in my bed, and the room was dark. It was nighttime, and I felt me being pulled. Like my arms, my legs, and my stomach was like being pulled down to the bed. And they were demons coming up and like pulling me down. And I looked down the corner, and there was a bright white light in the corner of the ceiling, like getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And I was reaching up. I said, God, help me. And then it just faded. Like, and then the demons were laughing. So I woke up the next day, and from then, I believed in God, and I like put effort in. Yes, it was very hard not to swear, not to do, like worldly things, because I'd done it my whole life. But getting help with other people that were like saved, and like godly input on my topics that I have mentioned, I guess. So years went by, and I was saved, but not completely. But I wouldn't swear, I wouldn't drink, I wouldn't do none of that, and I wouldn't watch scary movies. But I still like I don't do all of that. I think that going by the Bible, word, like specific word by word, is the right way. not making excuses for one little sin. Like, oh, it's okay to drink this little bit today. Not saying I drink, but I'm just saying one beer is fine. But what does the Bible say, really? Because everybody makes excuses for one little thing, and it leads to another, and then another. Like bad music. I'm saying bad music, like sexual soft swearing, and you put a little bit on, then more and more and more. And my kids, I try not to play that around them, but they come home from school like singing it. Like I know they're getting it from somewhere. There's no way of not letting them hear it. If I don't do it, somebody will. So it is really hard. But oh yes. So when I was 32, it broke out my face and my upper body broke out and like it looked like pimples. And then they blistered out. And then they popped like open sore. And then they turned into a hole like a hole. So I had it like all over my upper body. And two of these on my face, that's where the scar is from. And my one breast and my stomach was like this big. And my back had like 4 holes. And I thought I had not MS. It's a disease that affects the skin. But I did not have that. I found out the next 6 months or so, they did a biopsy on my nose because my nose was affected too. I started like really like boogery, like I don't know how to say it, but long burgers, like really gross. And my nose, I had this ear infection that I lost my hearing, my right ear, and my vision was like my eye socket was so like swollen that my eye went like way over there. So I would wear an eye patch on my bad eye so I could drive with my good eye. And it was really hard. And it was really stressful because I found out I had Wegeners disease. And they pretty much said they can't do nothing for this side, what happens to you from it. So if I lose my vision, they can't really do anything. They give me medication that helps it a little bit, but that's all. They don't cure it. They gave me infusions, which I took every 6 months, twice every 6 months. So now it don't work for me. So I only get one every 6 months, and then they give me chemo pills. I take once every week, 6 pills every week, one day. And it still seems the same. After infusions, it's about a month and a half where I feel totally fine. And then all of a sudden, my bones feel like, I can't explain it. Not like achy, like, oh my gosh, I'm running so much, it's tired. It's a weird pain in my bones from the waist down. My knees are really bad. Like, I sit for a while to try to get my legs break. And when I stand up, I can't because the pain is like so I can't explain it. It's so sharp. It hurts. And all I take is the chemo pills, which makes it worse. And the infusions, which actually is much better, only lasts a month. So, and then I don't have that pain. And then it comes back even worse every time. So I was, like I said, I was like 32 at that time. And then when I was 33, we kind of, my husband lost his job, because I kept on going to the doctors. And like he kept having a calling out because we had 4 kids at the time, and it was just a lot. So he ended up leaving his job because they would have fired him. So he left the job. Oh, he got family leave for up to a year. So he got that one time. And when the next time he tried to get it, they wouldn't let him again. So he left his job. We ended up homeless anyway. We ended up moving into a hotel for 2 months, I think. And then I found this apartment. But yeah, so we moved in. Wait. Yes, we moved in a hotel. My aunt offered us to stay there. So we moved out of the hotel into her house for like 3 months or something. I ended up really sick. So I kept on going back to the hospital for my ear infection. And they couldn't do nothing because my disease, it's hard to do anything. So I got this ear infection. It's not a normal one. It's a different type of bacteria. So they gave me antibiotics, but it wasn't working. So it comes to, I was pregnant like 7 months with my son. And my newest one. And then, oh yeah, so I complained about the ear pain, and like this side of my head was seriously in a lot of pain. And then I asked to be induced because it was like 2 weeks before the birth, and they said it was too early, or maybe 3 weeks earlier. And I said, I feel like something bad's gonna happen if I don't get induced, because they did tell me I should get abortion because my disease affects the baby in me, so we could both die. So they suggested I get an abortion, which I wouldn't do. So I didn't know it was that serious until I was pregnant already. So I have memory loss really a lot, but I was in the hospital trying to get induced, and they said no. So I got sent home. I was about 2 weeks later. I had inducing day. So they induced me, and I went in the hospital, not feeling good. I really didn't feel good. I don't know how to say it, but I just was woozy, and I had a serious headache. And they proceeded to do everything. And then I finally had him. But when I was given birth, they put things on his brain to monitor his brain. I don't know. They're supposed to check me because of the disease. They're supposed to watch it carefully, and they did not. So I pretty much gave birth like it normally would. And they didn't check me after. They just let me go home like everybody else. So I had meningitis. I was signing the discharge papers. I couldn't write at all. I'm telling you, I couldn't even draw a circle. I was like, I couldn't. I was like so tired. I didn't want my son to be in my arms. And that should tell the nurse or the doctor that I don't want the kid, or I just am that sick. So I kept saying, when the nurse brought him, here's your son. I was like, take him back to the nursery. And I had a hard time. They noticed I was slurring my speech. And again, they didn't do nothing. So my sister-in-law was there, and she helped me with the paperwork. And she thought I shouldn't go home. Also did my husband. But it was not brought up to the doctors. And the doctors should have done their job anyway to do it, to check me because of my disease. Then my son, I was sent home, and I was rushed to the emergency room the next day because I had multiple seizures and I couldn't swallow water. I was like dying. I don't remember anything from the moment I got back to my aunt's house to the time I was in the hospital and woke up with my husband next to me. That's all. I do not remember. 2 months before, I remember, no, not even 2 months, about 1 month, I had a dream that I was sitting on the hospital bed and my husband was to the right of me, holding my hand. And I remember God saying to me that it's gonna be, I don't know the right words to say, but pretty much everything was gonna be okay, but it's gonna be hard. Which is really weird because a month later is when I was in the hospital, like dying from meningitis. So, then I woke up and my husband was sitting next to me on the right side, which is weird. And he was old. And I told my husband a month before it happened that was what I was seeing in my dream. And then, he was sitting by my side and I don't really remember what he said, but I just know he was trying to talk to me. I couldn't talk. Like literally, there was like nothing but coming out, like nothing. And a few days later, my husband came back to me because he stayed, but he just left the room. But when he came in the room, I don't know. I just woke up and he was telling me that my son was airlifted. He was airlifted to the hospital and they have to move him to New York City. And like the feeling, normally I would be like, oh my gosh, so worried. And I felt like, I don't know how to explain it, like ease, I guess. I don't know. But I didn't have no worry at all, which a normal parent kind of would. He might not make it, is what the doctors told him. The same thing with me. He told my husband to say your last goodbyes to me. The doctor did. And he wouldn't. He had a lot of faith that I was just making it through. And I had my faith myself. When I got up, I was like, everything's going to be fine. And I was happy. I was like, fine. And then when he said, I said, go with our son to New York City. And he did. He didn't want to, but he didn't want to leave him alone. So he went with him. And a good thing is he's won now. And he made it through. Like I already knew. And we had faith in that. So it all happened in a good thing. I'm not explaining the whole thing right. I know I have a hard time explaining. I'm trying to do it quick. But pretty much we were like dying, both of us. And my son, he was 5 months old. Or 4 months. He got 2 feet in. He was still in rehab. And he finally came home after I learned the tube feed. Then he went home with me at 5 months. And he's 1 month right now. And he can't eat on his own. He can't sit up. He's over 1, so he should be able to sit up. At least he doesn't crawl. He doesn't sit up. He doesn't eat purees because they can't chew and swallow. He can't move his tongue that way. He just drinks his bottle now. He doesn't tube feed anymore. It's still in his stomach, but he don't use it for food. I just flush it and give him medicine. Which I don't need to. I mean, medicine if he needs it. But I thank God that this happened because I wouldn't be holding him in my arms at all if I didn't have as much. If we didn't have, me and all the people had a lot of faith, I think it wouldn't have gone the way it did. So I don't regret anything that happened my whole life because it wouldn't be where I am now. I have to deal with my disease daily, but I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. And I wouldn't change it because of my son is born. So he's here. He's doing better. He still needs help, but he's doing fine. He's doing pretty good. All right. I love you guys. Bye.